What if Slaking was in Gen 1 OU? This has been a very highly requested one, and yeah, I'm never going to be around the bush with you guys. This one is definitely going to be worth the wait, because this is just the same thing with Regigigas. A normal type that has a bad ability that becomes a monster when it, loses that ability. But unlike Regigigas, who I thought was just super boring to use, because he only just spams like Hyper Beam and Strength and that's it, Slaking is very uniquely OP, where it has quite literally every single broken thing in Gen 1 except status moves exactly. But every other move that a Pokemon has that could be broken in Gen 1, Slaking has. And it abuses every single other mechanic. It has super high HP, great speed, great defense, really good special attack, which is just the same as Jinx's in Gen 1. And its worst stat is 65, which, that's not even that bad. That's just a little bit lower than Tauros' special. And then you have just a completely ginormous 160 attack. Keep in mind, Rhydon, the Pokemon with the strongest physical attack in the game, unboosted, is just 130. And this guy has stab normal moves. Are you kidding me? That's just ridiculous. And it gets even more ridiculous, because when you look at its move pool, oh wow, what do you see immediately? Wizard, Body Slam, Counter, Double Edge, Earthquake, Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Rest, Rock Slide. Pretty sure Slack Off is a signature move, but you better believe we are not giving that to him. He does not need it. Obviously, he's tanky enough to where if he makes a substitute, it can survive just one Chansey Seismic Toss. So that's already huge. He also got Thunderbolt, Thunder, Amnesia. It gets freaking Amnesia. And that's not else. That's already pretty, insane. Especially when you consider it has 95 special. Swellbro only has 80 special, and it's the best Amnesia user in the game. But what else do you have? Because it does not end there. You obviously have Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam's pretty good, I would say. But guess what? He also gets Slash. Which, since it's Gen 1, it's an automatic crit. So what does that mean? Yeah, that's right. It's basically a 140 base power move. And you have Hyper Beam if you just want to be slightly more powerful. But you don't need that. Because why have that? You can have Slash, Thunderbolt, Amnesia, and Blizzard. Look at this. This is insane. It might just be more OP than Mewtwo. In all honesty, look at, Slash alone 2-hit KOs everything except for Gengar. And, Rhydon, I guess. But you have Blizzard, and you have, for Rhydon, and you have, Earthquake for both Rhydon and Gengar. And it has Amnesia, which they can just boost up really high. It's faster than every single status user, minus Starmie, who does have Sleep. So, if it's not OHKOing, Jinx, it's either just killing, Executor, or it's just, boosting with Amnesia, so that, it's hard for any of these special attackers to kill it. It is truly unbeatable. It takes advantage of every single thing that makes Gen 1 unique and broken. But you know what? I obviously, Slaking was not designed for Gen 1 in mind. But I do find it hilarious that it's almost well, we're already breaking this Pokemon by having it, not have its ability anymore. So why don't we just go full out and just make this thing the most broken thing to ever exist? With every single thing I could ever want. Slaking in Gen 1, this puts freaking... it puts freaking, a Hackmon to shame. Put this in your standard Pokemon ROM hack, and it would just solo. Almost everything. This guy, with Gen 1 mechanics, could probably solo Radical Red. But I don't know. Let's just get into the replays. it should be a lot of fun. This is originally just going to be a Gen 1 OU video, and I'm pretty sure I'm still going to title it What If Slaking was in Gen 1 OU, because I'm pretty sure the videos do better that way, but I'm not sure. But, yeah, like, after the first few replays, I was like, yeah, we need to put this against Mewtwo. I've had a lot of OP Pokemon before, and a lot of them, or most of them, don't really stand up to Mewtwo, even like some of the good Uber's Pokemon. But we have some that could rival. We had Arceus, Regigigas, but I think the only one that truly was able to rival Mewtwo was Calyrex Ice. But how would Slaking do? Well, here's how it deals with the best Pokemon in regular OU. Okay, so you have a Body Slam there, and then Slash does almost 70% to Tauros. I started laughing so hard when I saw this replay. I was like, holy crap. Like, I know Slaking is good, but you gotta be kidding me. You have Snorlax, which I was thinking, okay, maybe Snorlax can just, trade with Slaking. But as you see there, Slash 2-hit KO Snorlax as well. And you can't just, hit it with Body Slam, but then, self-destruct. As you see there, Slaking can just cleanly 2-hit KO you. So, it's just another great matchup. Or, good, I would say, I don't know. Slash brings Chansey to about 8%. But Hyper Beam is just a guaranteed kill, which is just hilarious. The fact that Slaking doesn't even need Hyper Beam is just insane. But Slash is just mostly Hyper Beam, just a little bit less power, which doesn't make a big difference other than Chansey exactly. And even then, you don't really need to use Hyper Beam just for Chansey, because Chansey, if it has any chip damage, it's just dead. Like, there is nothing you're doing to survive a Slash. And even something like Alakazam. Like, here's the best case scenario. A crit, and you also, brought some of its special down. But no, Slaking just one-shots. And see how Slaking's almost at, 40%? Even if Slaking's taken some chip, it, depending on, what hit it beforehand, it still might not be enough if you get a crit with Alakazam. This is just insane. The most insane Mad Lads who have ever appeared on the show. Even more than, most of the legendaries. And then Slaking could just, get, cocky and just use Amnesia. So hope you weren't planning on, clamp trapping, because your course are just gonna die. Because Slaking has Bolt Beam coverage with Amnesia. You know what doesn't have Amnesia? Swarbro does have Amnesia. Every other Amnesia user, I don't think, has Amnesia, other than, Tradeback's Hypno? What else even uses Amnesia in Gen 1? There's Poliwrath, I guess Tradeback's, Persian technically has it, but it's not good. So yeah, Slaking is just, it would even be, overpowered in Tradebacks. And that's, a gen where, everyone has an overpowered moveset. Slash does so much to Executor that if Executor misses Sleep Powder, it is just screwed. And that's assuming if Slaking just goes for the kill. And obviously, if the Executor takes any chip damage, it's just gonna be screwed that way as well. But also, Slaking could just very well also just go for an Amnesia, which I will admit is still pretty dangerous. Because if Executor gets a lot of turns in, it can crit or roll your special. But that's part of the reason why you have you use Amnesia in the first place. I'm not sure what's better, but I do think out of all the Pokemon, at least with the ones in OU, Executor technically has the best shot. But even then, that best shot has a 50% chance to just not work, or Slaking could just, revenge kills, meaning that Executor is just not a threat in the first place. So in all honesty, there is only one counter to Slaking. Do you know what it is? If you, thought counter exactly, then, you would be correct, actually. And that's the funny thing. The only thing that can stop, Slaking is just Snorlax with counter, maybe? But even then, Slaking players can just adapt to that and just use Amnesia. So no one wins. And also, let's not even talk about if you use Hyper Beam trying to fish for a crit. It has 100 base speed, so a crit isn't that unlikely. We're going to Gengar, and if Gengar misses Hypnosis, it's really bad. Earthquake deletes most of your health, and Explosion doesn't really do that much. So do you risk Hypnosis? I guess you have no choice because it's a freaking Slaking, but it is not, you just do not. It's just not a good position. It just really is not. And then Rhydon doesn't do that much better. Look how much Earthquake does. It almost does half, and Rhydon's like the physically tankiest Pokemon there is. And obviously Blizzard just even more. So, okay, there goes Rhydon to be a potential counter. There's like nothing left really. You have like Slowbro here, they can both boost the Amnesia. And I was thinking to myself that Amnesia Thunderbolt is the way to beat Slowbro. But then I realized, no, you don't even need to use your Amnesia against Slowbro. Even though it's superior, because once with max special, it's, you know, max like 35, or no, 95 special versus 80. But then look at that, Slash does 50%. The Slowbro can't even find a chance to set up those Amnesias. Slaking just shows up in solos. And even if like Slowbro already has all of the Amnesias up, Slaking's faster, so it can just set up its own Amnesias and then just go like quickly become unkillable. So this is going to be crazy, but Slaking has like caused like just a big emergency to where this is going to be the first ever time in one of these videos where I don't bother showing you a Starmie or Zapdos replay. But that's just how OP Slaking is. We're two of the most powerful Pokemon in Gen 1. Just like with Jinx or Jolteon, it's not even worth looking into them. Because we know what's going to happen. Slaking will just destroy them. Maybe they can paralyze or crit, but Slaking can do that too, and just do it better. So that means we only got two Pokemon left, and that's Mew and Mewtwo. And I'm telling you right now, it is not good for Mew. Mew is usually a Sword Stance user, and like, good luck like setting that up against Slaking. Even if you do set it up, like that's how much a critical explosion does. Slaking can live it. And if you're having to explode just to take care of the Slaking, that's not a very good sign. But now, how does Mewtwo do? Now, I will say off the bat that these next two replays won't be entirely accurate, but that's because, obviously for these two Pokemon, you wouldn't just send them out against each other in a 1v1. However, I don't think it really changes, like, how it actually goes. But you see here, Slash. Not only does it do most of Mewtwo's health, but I was thinking to myself, okay, Mewtwo can just potentially stall out the Slash turns to recover. But no, Slash does over 50%. So what you're seeing right now is Mewtwo trying to survive, but slowly losing more and more health. It's technically not even accomplishing anything right now. The only chance it has in this situation is by getting a crit on Slaking, as you see there. If it didn't get the crit there, Slaking would have killed, even if Mewtwo went for another recover. Yeah, it's... We're reaching that level. Here's another replay. With this one, Mewtwo goes for a Psychic, but Slaking goes for Amnesia. And it does, like, it's a Mewtwo, so it hits decently hard, I guess. But Slaking, as you can see, can just easily take care of it. And Mewtwo can't do much in a 1v1, for the most part. It can get lucky with crits, but so can, like, Tauros, Starmie, etc. So, I honestly think Slaking might be the best Pokemon in Gen 1 Ubers as well. Because let's really think about it for a moment, shall we? Like, Mewtwo sets up Amnesia, which is super OP. But Slaking doesn't need it to be OP. It can just be sent out on the field and immediately, do a lot of damage. But at the same time, if Mewtwo already has a Amnesia up, or even 2, it beats Slaking then as well. So in reality, it's just a matter of who gets set up first. If you put your Slaking in a good position before they take out the Mewtwo, obviously Slaking's gonna win the 1v1. But at the same time, Mewtwo, if you get some Amnesias up, it can beat Slaking. So it's obviously like, you know, like very complex. I think I would need an entire like Generation Jumbo season just to determine who's the real best Pokemon in Gen 1 Ubers. But at the very least, out of all the Pokemon, mine is like Carox, who only wins by default with like just being a Psychic Ice type. Slaking is the only Pokemon so far that can just easily just take on Mewtwo with like very little worries. Obviously, Arceus and Regigigas do a lot of damage with Hyper Beam, but Mewtwo doesn't fear them as much. It still fears them, but it can just, you know, recover off the damage and take advantage of Hyper Beam having a recharge turn. You do not get that luxury with Slash. So here is the tier list. Yeah, this is like a Gen 1 Ubers tier list, and it's the first time where just everything is being absolutely dominated by Slaking. It's just truly terrifying, just how powerful this Pokemon is. But I had a lot of fun making this, because even though it's OP, like, even if it had, like, no coverage moves, it was only normal moves. Even if it did have Slash, just Body Slam by Hyper Beam, it would still be amazing and overpowered. But they gave it so many different tools to work with, and that just made it really fun and entertaining to use. Not gonna lie. Now, is it better than Mewtwo? I don't know for sure. I'm really gonna need you guys to let me know in the comments. But I just don't see any counters for Slaking, really. Like, maybe you can use like a dedicated Snorlax with counter and self-destruct, but even then, I don't feel too good about it. And even if my Mewtwo already has like some Amnesias up, I'm not gonna feel the best putting it against Slaking. And Slaking being in the format makes a paralyzed Mewtwo the best Mewtwo towards what it was supposed to be. A big hindrance and a big threat to your Mewtwo's survival. So yeah, I don't know why I never made this video sooner, but I think Mewtwo is kind of strong, and Slaking is just a little bit stronger, in my opinion. Definitely for going at physical moves. Maybe Submission Mewtwo can be what saves us, but who knows. What do you guys think? Do you think I will ever find a more overpowered Pokemon than Slaking? Do you think some, like, legendary has a chance of being better? I guess a Turnamax Eternatus would... maybe? But even though Turnamax Eternatus has, like, the most insane stats ever, a Poison and Dragon type is just not good for Gen 1 OU. Obviously, Turnamax Eternatus would be good either way, but with the amount of Pokemon that, like, would get crit Blizzards and Thunderbolts, would it thrive the same way Slaking will? It could very well, but I don't know. But you guys have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Zacian and Genesect are also Pokemon that will be a lot of fun to look over. I think Genesect I actually might do later this week, but we'll have to see. Thank you all for watching. This is Groundback, and until next time, I look forward to hearing from you.